Guys, Lance Douglas here from Physio.com.au. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about how to minimise jet lag from really long flights. So I know from personal experience with Connection Rio, flight from Australia to Brazil, it's an absolute beauty, 30 hours, Australia to Singapore, Singapore to Dubai, Dubai to Rio. It's a long haul, and I know like most guys, you want to get straight to Rio, straight to Connection Rio, and then straight to Gordo's, and get in one, maybe two sessions that first day. Now to make sure you've got the best chance of not being put out for 2-3 days with jet lag, there's a few things we can definitely do. First thing we're going to talk about the supplements. So these supplements, the aim is to boost your immune system so you don't get a cold or get sick whilst you're on the plane. So first few things, we've got vitamin D. Vitamin D is relatively safe, and this will boost your immune system. Now what you want to do the day before, during the flight, and the day after the flight. Personally, I take 4 capsules of the vitamin D. It's relatively safe. If you feel pretty hesitant about it, check with your doctor. This is relatively safe, and with me, as you can see, I'm very pasty, so I need all the vitamin D I can get. Next thing we're going to talk about, vitamin C. Again, to boost your immune system. This is relatively safe. I take two tablets. This is 500 milligrams. So I take 2 the day before, 2 during the flight, and 2 the day after. The next one, this one's a bit different. This is lysine. This is again really good at boosting your immune system. This, I only take 1 tablet day before, 1 during the flight, 1 after. Now, I'm a physiotherapist, I'm not a doctor, so these are just recommendations, but if you've got any concerns, if you've got any pre-existing medical conditions, check with your doctor, make sure it's all good. Next thing we're going to talk about is hydration. Ideally on the flight, you want to be having at least 1 glass of water every hour you're awake. The idea is, on the plane, the air is very dry, it's going to dehydrate you. And if you get to Rio, it's boiling hot, you do your training session, dehydrated anyway, get even more dehydrated, get tapped by black belts, you're going to be in trouble. So, whilst you're on the flight, hydration is absolutely key. Next thing, this is going to sound pretty obvious, but you want to get as much sleep as you can on the flight. If you're not getting any sleep on that 30-hour flight, then you end up in Brazil, you're going to be put out for a couple of days. So 2 things you can work on to get that sleep: earplugs and eye mask. Simple, but people often forget it. So if you know your airline doesn't provide it, just simply buy it beforehand. Next thing we're going to talk about is, whilst you're on the plane, just try and get moving as much as possible. Stand up, talk to the flight hostess, chat them up, talk to people next to you. You need to be getting up as often as possible. So when you get up, prioritize getting your back moving, getting the legs moving. Might do some shadow sparring, some dancing, anything really, just to get your body moving. So the last thing I need to talk about, I can't believe I've almost forgot this. So we talked about supplements, we've talked about hydration, we've talked about getting moving, we've also talked about sleep. The last thing, food. Now on the planes, you can get sucked in just having candy bars, beers, whatnot. But if you want to make sure you get off the plane in Rio, straight to Gordo's training as much as possible, try and eat sensibly on the plane. Eat normal meals, avoid the candy bars, and they'll put you in best stead. So all these things we've talked about, they'll all be on the blog post. They're all trying to boost your immune system. Next video, we're going to talk about specific exercises, specific stretches to do when you're in Brazil, straight after the flight, to get your body in the best shape. Hopefully you got a lot out of that. I'm Lance from Physio.com.au.